Good morning, Team Jai Hughes. Hope you're well. And you all know the man next to me, Bruce Hughes. He's popped in for a cup of coffee. And we decided to do it live. So, Bruce, thanks for popping in here.
And how's it to everybody else? Cheers, Andrew.
Cheers. Cup of coffee sitting on my new veranda with a tree in the background here. So excuse the bolting noise if you guys hear it. Now, listen, as you guys come in, just tell us who you are. We can't see. So just say, hey, pitch from Port Kittersrus or wherever. And if you get value from this little live that we're doing, we're only doing this into our private community today, guys. This isn't a public one. Although I do want to tell you that I am also rendering this onto YouTube, so that if you do want to send this to anyone in your team out who's not on Facebook or something like that, you can ask us for the link and we'll send you the YouTube link. So once again, just tell us where you're dialing in from, where you're watching from, and I hope you get a bit of value from this over the next 10-15 minutes. So Brucey, I'm excited. I'm excited about the next couple of months. I understand. How's it, Ray? How's it, Vanessa? I understand that the last 6 months, if we call a spade, we've had to dig deep, which is a good thing, by the way, Bruce, because that's where you learn the most. And I understand that people have really, really, really been putting in the hard yards. And a couple of months ago, as we went into lockdown, I sat with, we did a lot of training on this coming from Masha Miguel, where we spoke about the 4 phases of what lockdown was going to do to us as network marketers and our market. And the first phase was that in the beginning, you're going to get people that were proactive and would see that they were going to have to quickly diversify their income into a home-based business. And you're also going to have people that were going to be nervous and put their head in the sand. That was phase 1, but there was still money around. They then spoke about phase 2. So we're way past phase 1 now. Okay. Yeah. Phase 2, where the reality starts to hit for everyone. That shit, I am at home now, excuse my language. I am home. I have lost my job. I have been retrenched. My small business is going under. I now need to do something, whether I believe that I should hold on to my money or not. And there was still money around. Now, those 2 phases are both gone. How's it, guys? How's it, Leroy? Those phases are past, Bruce. But I will tell you what happened in those 2 phases. Is because you and I on that Eric Worre mastermind, we speak to 6- and 7-figure income earners on that mastermind every week, and their businesses boomed during that time. They haven't seen growth in their network marketing businesses ever before as they did in those 2 phases that we went through. Karatbars, because of the changes that have been happening and because of where we are, our growth wasn't like, we didn't experience that kind of growth, although we did see an increase in our activity. But here's what I want to tell you. We're heading into phase 3 now. And phase 3, and this is where it gets exciting for us. Phase 3, Bruce, as you know, is the phase that Masha Miguel predicted where a lot of people, the middle class, which you get attracted into the network marketing opportunities, the money's actually gone. It's run out. And what Masha Miguel predicted was that those companies and those teams that go into phase 3 with the most momentum are probably the ones that are going to be able to survive. And a lot of internal sales, they said, was going to have to happen. A lot of, if you're in a lotions and potions company, internally in your team, you'd have to pump up the volume in your team rather than bring on new people, because the middle class's money is drying up now. And if you agree with me, and if you're finding out in the marketplace that people's money is gone, just say yes. We have notes in the comment section here. Just say that if you're finding that. Now, here's where I get excited. And I think people must listen. And you're the best person to explain this. So I'm going to leave that to you. Because understand where our advantages, understand where our unique sales point is. And I chatted to Masha Miguel about this. And they 100% agree with what we're about to tell you here. We're probably, with the solution that Karatbars has had up till now, we've also only been attracting the middle class, the people who are willing to roll up their sleeves. Their money is also running out. I get that. But with what Karatbars are launching now in June, July, the trading platform and the stable coin, we are going to be one of the few network marketing companies out there that are able to attract the people with the money, not the middle class. See, make no mistake, the rich are still rich. The wealthy still have wealth. What they're looking for is good places to park that wealth, safer places to park that wealth, better ways to make money with that wealth than the traditional ways, which they now can see is broken. And so I think as we, as a company, are heading into phase 3 of this, and then at the end, I'll tell them what phase 4 is, Bruce. But as we head into phase 3, which is where we're heading into now, we're one of those, if not the only, but one of a few network marketing companies that can actually thrive through this phase now. And I'm going to let you describe that, Bruce. And I believe you've got a story or two to tell on that.
Yeah, so guys, it's always good to be on a call like this. And again, we're not going to make this a long call. We've got maybe another 8 minutes in us. But here's what we're seeing in the marketplace, as Andrew has pointed out, is that your high net worth individuals are looking for safe places to park their wealth. And they're becoming very, very aware of the changes that are happening within financial houses, the changes that are happening within the banking community, and the changes that government is enforcing upon those banks and financial houses. And it's going to be at the price of the people who leave their money there. And so, we were in conversations right now with some people here locally in Belito. They're in the property development game, and they're experiencing a time in the property development game where people who had committed to investing into their property developments are now starting to withdraw those funds and putting their commitment elsewhere. They're starting to see that potentially the pressure that the banks are receiving means that certain bond approvals, certain bond rates, certain interest rates are not going to be lucrative enough to justify spending the money in that space. And so we were in an interesting conversation when the guy was saying they're actually seeing these guys withdrawing and wanting to move their money offshore, but they couldn't because, again, those changes that are happening are preventing guys from effectively moving their money offshore. And not just that, but the money that's being moved offshore has to go back into a banking system, which guys are hesitant to do. The UK is sitting at less than 1% interest rates when you go and park your money. Most of the European countries have pushed their banking systems into negative interest rates. And so the options are scarce. The options are not lucrative. And what Karatbars has set up, and guys, just listen to this, what Karatbars has set up for the high net worth individual is not a bank account, but rather is an account that allows them to shift large amounts of money into gold. Large amounts of their portfolio can be put into an account that is not being controlled by the bank because it falls outside of the banking system. It's not being controlled or regulated as a financial house because it's not a financial house. It is pure gold bullion. And so we've just entered into a whole lot of conversation, literally in the last 2 weeks, where guys are now seriously looking at Karatbars and they're doing a serious deep dive and audit into the legitimacy of the company. And they're not doing it through blogs. They're not doing it through YouTube clips. They're not doing it through media articles. They're doing it with corporate. They're doing it through verifiable audits. They're doing a deep dive on the company because they're wanting to park large amounts of wealth. So for those of you who are on this call who maybe have only felt like they could take this solution to, peer level or middle class level, I'm telling you right now that the doors have suddenly opened to your high net worth friends and maybe to friends who know high net worth friends. And I really want to encourage you and equip you to go start having that conversation. That's without even talking about the fact that the stable coin can help the gold generate fees. I'm just talking about a responsible wealth decision that high net worth individuals are looking for. So that's the one thing I want to talk about. The second thing that I want to highlight for this community specifically is that the trading volumes globally, not just for cryptocurrencies, but in Forex, have increased dramatically. In other words, people who looked at trading as risky are now actually looking at it as a viable, responsible decision because they've got to try and make the little bit that they have grow. Your middle class at the moment is very open to trading. It's why we've seen all sorts of companies recently pop up in the last year that are offering trading to people. Now, here's the danger, and please understand why Karatbars has been so slow in this. Here's the danger in trading, is that trading 15 years ago got put through the mill on regulation in order to make it more transparent and more responsible so that it would be a less risky space. In fact, the regulations around trading are so high that the companies that really do well in the space have multiple trading licenses in multiple territories in order to give themselves more credibility, in order to make sure that people understand what it is that they're partnering with those trading companies. So what Karatbars has done is they've been jumping through those rings. They've been jumping through the hurdles that are necessary to make sure that the platform they offer this community is transparent and legitimate and can be operated in multiple territories. Now, guys, that's a good thing. That protects you. You see, the regulations that trading companies have been forced to put in place are literally to protect the people who put in their money there. So your middle income friends, the guys who are trying to squeeze the most out of the little that they have, they need to have a safe place to go and create that squeeze. What we've seen happening, though, is that unscrupulous people are taking their friends and family's money and they're putting it in places that aren't regulated, aren't protected, aren't transparent, and it's going to create such a pain in the marketplace that the fallout is going to probably put more people into debt than COVID-19 did. And this is why we're pumped about what Karatbars has put in place. You all know that I come from a trading background. I traded for 6 years. I have not touched a trading platform for the last 4 years. I have not taken communities. I have not taken people to trading platforms because for me, it's a high risk space that therefore needs high transparency and high legitimacy. And that's what I'm excited about what Karatbars has done. So for those of you who maybe are feeling a bit deflated because we've gone into that third stage that Masha and Miguel have spoken about, I want you to start feeling really excited, really equipped to know that we've got a huge solution for your high net worth individuals that aren't seeking to put their money into property, banks, financial houses. We've got a legitimate solution there. And more excitingly is for the guys who are feeling the squeeze, we're going to take them to a home that's fully transparent, fully legitimate, fully audited, fully regulated, where the guys can go and say, here's a safe place. You know, instead of risking it all, let's go and be responsible with it and get those wins. Guys, we are sitting in a construction site here at Andrew's house. We're going to be wrapping this up shortly. Andrew's going to talk about the fourth stage and why more than ever right now, you want to be speeding up as opposed to slowing down. You know, we want to be hitting speed at the same time that the platform goes live, at the same time that the stable coin goes live. We want to be hitting speed where we are introducing people to a safe home. And Karatbars has made that possible by, listen to this, by making sure that they do all the hard yards in the legal space. And guys, the last 6 months for the company, we've all picked up on it. It's been tough. Germany's changed its regulations, Europe's changed its regulations, and the companies had to make changes with them. Understand this. The companies that are making changes with regulators are here to stay. The companies who are promoting that they don't need are probably not going to be around in 12 to 24 months, and it's going to be at your expense. You're going to be the person left standing there if you've chosen to put your money in those places. So personally, I'm excited that maybe we've taken longer to get there, but it means that our integrity, our names and our finances and those of our friends and family are in a safer place because of it. So right now, when other companies are probably starting to slow down or are starting to feel that pressure, Karatbars has set itself up to absorb that pressure, and we're about to step into it. So for those who are feeling a bit tired or a bit deflated, I want you to know we know why. But cheapers, guys, take a deep breath, suck it in, get ready, because we're about to go into stage 4, which Andrew's about to explain, with serious legitimacy, credibility, and listen to this, solutions that are actually needed and that are safe. So over to you, Andrew.
Awesome. Thanks there, Bruce. I'm not going to keep you guys long, but people, we're in phase 3 now. We're entering phase 3. You guys have felt it. The market is feeling the pinch of COVID, lockdowns. And what Masha Miguel said, phase 4 is the phase where those companies that are able to get through phase 3, the strongest. And phase 3, guys, could be a month, 2 months, 3 months. It could be 6 months. We don't know how long phase 3 will be. That's the only thing. But there will be a time when the economies start to recover, when people can go back to work, when there is money again. But here's what's going to happen when that happens. The world is going to be more educated on home-based businesses at that stage. They're going to understand that they need extra income streams. They're going to understand that they need to supplement and take charge. Your employee-minded person is going to go, I still want to be employed, but I now understand that I need a home-based business because I never want to be in that position again. Now, those companies that can prove to those people in phase 4 that it was a viable solution when it was difficult times, those are the ones that companies that are going to attract those people. So here's why I'm excited. I think a lot of other network marketing companies could struggle as we get deeper and deeper into phase 3 now. But if we see the bigger picture, if our team sees the bigger picture, if we lift ourselves to a higher standard, if we show people higher up on the socioeconomic chain a solution for their money, we are that one company that can actually bring in a lot of big money and a lot of high caliber people into our solution throughout phase 3, which ironically helps the middle class people in our team become more successful as well. And when we are through this phase, whether it's a month from now, Bruce, whether it's 5 months from now, 10 months from now, we don't know how long phase 3 is going to be, as I said, but we're that one company that can flourish, grow while others slow. That's the title of this thing. Keep growing while others are slowing. We can grow while others slow. And when we do that, those with their long-term mindset,